Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the podcast. Today we have on Marco, who is the owner of Wonder Ads. He does a whole lot of insane things in terms of Google advertisement, business things, and YouTube advertisement, SEO stuff. It's quite amazing to see. He has been a part of my Overcome the Chaos program, and he has finished that, and we have really helped him move forward to crush things in his life. So he shares his story for the Overcome the Chaos program, and then he also shares some really awesome insights into business and other things and how to be successful. One of the huge tips in there is gaining independence if you are a man, which is quite insane. I extremely enjoyed this podcast. If you guys get anything out of this podcast, please hit that like, share, or subscribe button. And obviously, if you're interested in anything of my coaching in terms of, if you're sick of the version of yourself now and you become the best version of yourself so that everyone around you can be proud of you, happy, healthy, wealthy, multi-millionaires, baby. That is our goal. Woo! Let's go, and fit and strong. So if you're interested in any of those things and you want to be a part of the Overcome the Chaos program and get welcome into my family of absolute studs, please just send me a message. I'd love to hear from you on Instagram, most likely. And that. So all the links are below hand. If you'd like to get in contact with Marco for anything, please click on some of the links below hand. I really enjoyed this podcast, and I hope you guys get some lessons and learn some awesome stuff out of this podcast too. So stick around and we'll see you on the inside, guys. G'day everyone. So I've got Marco on the show today. He has just completed the Overcome the Chaos program that I'm currently running, but he's an absolute stud and he's been doing like some awesome stuff as well. So I've got him on the podcast to share some of his advice and some of his wisdom and his lessons. So Marco, thanks so much for coming onto the show.
Thank you so much, Corey, for this nice introduction. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. And
Cool.
Marco, man, you got some like good knowledge and some wisdom up in there. Obviously, you do a lot of like business stuff and you're super focused and stuff that you do. What have you been learning recently?
Yeah, besides finishing the course, which was really needed, I started last year with the coaching with you, just to get back. I was struggling with a little bit of stress and energy management, and I decided to engage with you, and that was quite my main focus during the last couple of weeks, besides traveling to Europe, catching up with family. So yeah, I was actually mostly invested into that to sort out. I thought it's a good thing to do that between the years, to just get sorted out, to get back in touch with myself, to lay the groundwork for this year to be happening. And yeah, we just finished our course and it was great. So I am looking now for the next adventures, and the next adventures will be more business focused now that I kind of know my direction and I got some new tools that I learned during that recent period.
Awesome. So like as an entrepreneur, what do you think was like one of the best lessons that you may have like learned from the program?
So what really resonated with me is that you have to cultivate different aspects inside of you. What I was not familiar with is the analogy of king, warrior, lover. What's the fourth one? Magician. So yeah, I became more aware of cultivating those different aspects. So every of those roles or archetypes is standing for a different energy source or a different way to reflect or putting in action and so on. And this is what I needed, because during last year I was very stressed. If anyone who's listening this podcast has already built a business, they know how easy it can be to get caught up in the grind and into the hustle. And that's basically what happened with me during the last year. I had some very time-consuming projects. I want to get some things going. I try to build a team. I tried to do many things during last year, and at the end of the day, I looked at myself and I wasn't really that happy. And I realized that, and it became a strong pain. And I became so clear I had to do something. And now that I went through this course, I'm searching now for balance. And I know how to do it. I have more ideations around how to balance my life, and that's one of the biggest outcomes of this recent few weeks that we work together. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And like, how did it all make you feel? What was like the emotional experience?
I like one of the things is, you know, that you have only so much time, and now that I know that I just don't want to dedicate all this time towards my work, I feel really relieved, and I feel a lot of more less worried. I was quite anxious, and like, oh, this business, like everything emotionally inside of me was based on this business. Like I was happy when I get new got new clients and when the business was growing, but if there's a client jumping off, I was really sad and upset. And now I think this year, like cultivating new hobbies, this is I feel very excited for doing that. A few of them might be going hiking, camping outdoors, spending more time with friends, hosting events for them, and just living outside of the business way more. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like get burnout from your business at all? Is that what you got?
So burnout is quite a, like, when I like I don't like to use that word much, because I think that's a clinical term, and probably it needs to be diagnosed, and there's a lot of things to it, so it can have like a strong depression to it and whatnot. I wasn't really depressed. I was just like really aware that I felt one dimensional. And being one dimensional in life is just very it's not very fulfilling, especially when you have a big need for social interactions. I mean, I always had some events, but I felt at one point that, hey, I just don't want to go to meet my friends anymore, so I can focus more on the business. It went through that, and to come back to your question, like it made me also very uncomfortable to be with friends because of this, and I felt that I maybe had a beginning of a burnout, or so. I don't know, but it didn't feel healthy. It didn't feel like I was on track. It felt me I was uncomfortable around friends and whatnot, because of this mindset back then, I believe.
How did that mindset cultivate?
It is rooted in the past. I think it just cultivated over a few years. I live in Taiwan as a expat, as an expat, and coming here, I always had a struggle. Even I have quite some good education. I have an MBA. I speak Chinese. I speak German, English, and I still struggled a lot to get my foot to the ground here when it comes to find work, and there was a lot of pain associated with this. So it was difficult to find a job here, and once I found it, I always had like the salary amount was just really minimal, plus the working conditions, like holidays. I think when I started, you didn't have any holidays in the first year, and then after 1 year you got like 3, and for me that was a big nightmare because I have family back in Germany, and when you have not so much resources, not much time and not much money available, then it's really, really hard to see them, to spend some time between both worlds. Here's my wife, here and there is my family. So like it really motivated me to become self-employed. But it also then put the pressure on, basically, because I know I have to make an income. I need to be financially secure, and that needs to be consistent. And then it just created that pressure over the last few years, because I've been facing those challenges with my work, with the finances, being an expat here, being outside of my environment, basically. And this all lead to a lot of pressure, and yeah, and this is maybe why it unfolded the way it did during, let's say, the last 1 or 2 years. Especially I was also grinding before that, um, but yeah, during the last year I felt it quite, it was maybe the most intense year for me, basically, where I isolated myself.
Yeah, which is sort of a lot of other entrepreneurs sort of really
Mhm.
understand like that journey. And I'm sure that you were quite aware of all of those things when you decided um, to be like an entrepreneur and go down um, that path. So, what was
Mhm.
sort of like, your motivation to be an entrepreneur? And,
Mhm.
what are some of the things in the process of like recently, just belief systems and things and some of the successes back around that have, really helped you out?
So the big irony is basically, why are we doing this? Why are we grinding so hard? Why are we hustling so hard as entrepreneurs? It's like we want to be free. We are freedom fighters. We want to have freedom of location. We want to have financial freedom. We want to not worry about which hotels we are staying. Like, we want to travel, see the world. We want to do all this great stuff. But the irony is really that the more you go for it, then yeah, the less you do of this fun stuff. And this is actually something that is recurring in my thoughts. It always comes back, and I have to catch myself. And yeah, I think with this course, like there's multiple factors that came together, like different inspiration source. One is the course that we did, Corey. I think because it cultivated a lot the magician side of things, where basically you do a lot of self-reflection. You sit down, you really think about your life, you think about what you want to accomplish, you think about your purpose, and that gives you quite a bit of a north star, basically. And another thing is also to tackle, like to be aware of what anxieties you have, what kind of emotions inside of you are holding you back. And there were, what I just mentioned, like what I was just saying, is I had quite some anxieties, and I might still have them. To be honest, I'm not 100% cured or anything, but way more aware than I was before. And but those anxieties, those emotions, they become very, very clear. And I just took them and I looked at them, and I'm just asking myself, do you really want to be a hostage to those emotions? Like you want fun, you want to enjoy your life, but you think you cannot do that because, like, you're not, like, yeah, you're not financially free yet, or so, or like you haven't achieved your financial goals yet, or your business goals yet. It's like, no, I think I came to the conclusion that you need to have a balance, as well, like that. If you don't cultivate a balance, then you're not successful. Also, Tony Robbins is saying something like, what is he saying? Maybe you can correct myself. You can correct me. But if you have money but no joy, it's the ultimate failure, or so. Because a lot of people are going down this track of just like becoming one dimensional, and I don't want to I don't want to live my life like that. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And how's this like worked out for you now for how you can show up with the people that you work with and the clients that you have?
Oh, that's a good question. I think, first of all, like I put some measures in my business itself. Like I have a team in place doing the fulfillment for our services, which I can tell you a little bit more about later. That is taking quite some stress and kind of some, um, on the groundwork away from me. And that was also one of the biggest mindset shifts that I had, like becoming from working inside of the business to working now outside of the business, or on the business, with this team, that helped me to restructure the work, to refocus on other parts, and then also with this additional awareness. It's just like I try to prioritize other things. Like I try to prioritize my gym, my workout, my walks, and my socials. I really plan them in when like on my to-do list. I have different categories of things like project work or business work and client work. But then I have like one bracket where I do social things. And what I've been doing a lot is like um, organizing things for my friends. I've been doing that a couple of years ago. I hosted a meetup group here in Taiwan for entrepreneurs. I also helped voluntarily to put some events together, like a conference and yeah, and other things like going for hikes and whatnot. And this is something that I always enjoyed. So this is now one of the tasks besides my work. This is my other work. Like I want to organize things for my friends and plan out plan out more things, becoming a host more, and yeah, and create balance this way.
And does that actually make you like do better work, do you think?
I think so because I don't have to stress out. And usually before I would just like work, and then maybe the weekend I need to recover, or like when I meet my friends, then I would just follow, and that's fine. I can do their things, but I would neglect the things that I would like to do. Like I love to do outdoor things like bicycle rides, not like those extreme bicycle rides, just like using here. They have those rental bikes that you can swap the card and just like easy going, right? Like, but just a little bit in the nature for an hour and just riding or going for a hike. And now I like by adding that, it also helps me to like to get back to my passions and to cultivate what is really important for me. And for me, it was always nature. It was always being outdoor because I feel very grounded when I'm there. I think that's where we come from, right? We all come from nature. So um, I want to cultivate this more, and this is why I host that. And if people like to join it, then it's fine. If not, I do my own thing. That's also great. And I do my own thing. I listen to an audiobook or just go write by myself and let my thoughts flow.
Yeah, for sure. So what is your like genius in terms of like your work stuff for the
Mhm.
all the things that you have learned? What is like your superpower and genius
Mm.
with the work that you do?
So with the work that I'm doing, my genius, we are very specialized. What I've put together is like a boutique agency that is helping online businesses primarily um, with paid ads here. Yeah, Google ads. Like I've been my professional superpower has been Google ads over the last couple of years. I was always doing marketing. I used to sell e-commerce. It was on Amazon though. I was selling books back then. I sold the business and realized I want to learn how to build brands outside of the Amazon ecosystem. So I decided I first became a brand or shop manager for a Shopify store, and I just got very passionate about learning about e-commerce businesses. So primarily, I then learned Google Ads because they have like very special campaigns and things that you can run. So paid advertisement um, to get people into your store. And I've been learning a lot, not only about Google Ads. I know a lot of aspects, different aspects of e-commerce e-commerce marketing itself. I have a lot of friends. They have very successful e-commerce businesses, and yeah. But I dived deep into Google Ads and media buy. That's my bread and butter basically these days to
Yeah.
sell it to clients. Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you had any like success stories that you could like walk us, or I'd love to hear about some sort
Mhm.
of success story that you've had with someone?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think the way I started out, it was like 2 or 3 years ago when I first shifted to manage the entire Shopify store. It's like we built it up from zero. It used to be an Amazon business which I helped to manage first, and then I project managed the whole transition from Amazon. It was like a 7-figure business, so already like selling internationally, a German accessory brand, but selling to the States, Canada, because of the Amazon logistics. They sell it globally, and I helped them to come away from Amazon and build it up on, or just expand in platforms. So Shopify is independent. You can grow your own customers. You can do your own marketing, your own email marketing, and whatnot. So it's like you can build a real brand on there. And I helped this existing brand to get there and to install, like to optimize their store, to install email marketing with Klaviyo, to set up the email marketing flows, and to make sure that the baseline is right. So having the store looking nice, to have the email marketing set up. And then we were trying to do Google ads, Facebook ads, all those kind of traffic sources. And it worked. We had a very successful year with those accessories. And that was my first big case study, basically, to increase the sales. Like Google ads was really working well. And we made that quite successful back then, even to an extent that the owner was able to sell his majority equity from this business. So he kind of, partly exited it and took a lot of chips from the table, and he was happy. And since then, we have been taking on many different clients, primarily in the e-commerce space. But one client that I'm also very proud of is they're called My Consulting Offer. And the founder, Davis, he is a previous management consultant for Bain, one of the top 3 management consulting firms. Just to give some context here, it's really difficult to get into Harvard, Yale, those Ivy League colleges, but to get into such a firm like McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group, or Bain, it's even way more. I think only 3% or so of the applicants can do it. And this course is all about. So they're teaching aspiring management consultants basically how to get interviews and how to pass those interviews in those firms. And I've been helping to set up the PPC management with them, or to take it over and to expand on that. It was not only Google Ads where I specialize in personally, but it was multiple ad platforms. We have been expanding into Facebook, obviously, LinkedIn, Quora, Reddit, and Quora, Reddit, LinkedIn ads, and Bing ads, or Microsoft ads. And what really helped there, what really went off, besides the Facebook ads, is also YouTube ads. So for his space, where he's doing coaching, as well as like it's a video course and it's like coaching services. So it was really great to see, to get traction with YouTube advertisement, and I think that's the next big thing, especially after Facebook has so many issues with iOS, all those updates, that conversion tracking has been very difficult. So I think YouTube advertisement is very interesting, and thanks to this project, we were able to get them tons of sales during last year, and it's continued to make more, because we're testing different funnels, we're testing different landing pages and whatnot. But it also helped me to really get my foot more deeper into YouTube. I've been working parallel, because we have in our network, we have we are working with the top PPC experts as well, where we have masterminds or paid groups where we have access. And one of them is Tom Breeze. He's quite well known in this marketing space, and thanks to this project, we are part of his own coaching system, where we have private access to him and his team, and together we are actually working quite closely to make those YouTube campaigns really successful. And that has been very that has been quite a fulfilling, professionally fulfilling journey to me, because I learned a lot and I see how those learnings translate into success.
You can set some YouTube stuff up for me, please.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah. So how important do you think it is for people, like for men in general, to start up their own business and start their own thing?
um, that's a very individual question. I'm not like I personally think that it's quite it's one of the best self-help programs out there to start your own business, because you just get to know yourself so much more, and it just opens up so many different ways of thinking, and you have to really step up from your own shadow, if that makes sense. Like, you have to really grow and expand your comfort zone and things. But if I can recommend it to everyone, I don't think so. Like, you need to really like know what you're going for, and the sacrifice that might come with it. And it's a journey that it takes a lot of commitment. And some people are just more happier when they have a traditional when they have the normal lifestyle, or what means normal lifestyle, but when they have the traditional lifestyle, when they just have their work, and after work they don't have to worry about anything. It's fine. I totally respect that. So um it's fulfilling. It's very fulfilling for me. If it's for everyone, I'm not sure. So I cannot give a general recommendation, but for the few percent of people who want to explore that, they should definitely do it. And they should definitely find their own tribe of people as well, so their belief systems are strengthened. When they have friends that are entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, they see what's happening, then this is a big psychological leverage. Basically, like, if you're gonna have to see that, you're gonna have to understand it's possible. And if you have that, then it's really amazing. And it for me, it happened as a journey. I started with nothing. I just started by myself and didn't know what I'm getting into. Buying a course to learn stuff, it took me 2 years, because I was following someone on YouTube, and he had amazing content in the self-development space. And one day he came up with a course, and he charged $70 for it. And I was so mad because my mindset, I just thought, hey, now he wants to rip us off. I knew he wanted to make money. It took me 2 years. I bought this course that changed my life. I built a Kindle, like an Amazon business out of it. And it was one of the best investments that I had.
So,
But sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
no, you're okay. I was just going to ask, for people at that stage in their journey, where people at that stage of life are like, cool, I really actually want to start investing in myself. I want to like start
Yeah.
maturing, really be independent with some other things. Could be stuck. Maybe they're just like, man, this current version of me in my life right now, bleh. But I really want to like transcend myself and become the best version of myself. Um, what is something that you would encourage them to do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very yeah, having this awareness is the first big step. If they have that, and if they believe on this is really great to have. And keeping in mind, taking baby steps, and is important. But yeah, then there are resources out there, and it helps to have a look at resources, like a course, like a mentorship. But I would also have a warning here, because some of the material might be not right for every journey. Like, what happened to me is, like, I invested so much money, like, for this Kindle business. I was successful, and then one of my first mentors, I think I paid 5 to 6 grand US dollars, and it was quite a big chunk back then of my money. And when I reflect on that, it's like this coach was on top, but it was too much. I was not capable of putting the thing into action. So it was a big lesson for me, because I was at the very beginning stage as an entrepreneur. So So I think it takes time. Knowing that it takes time, then it's just a huge journey, and you're gonna have to focus on putting one step for after the other, and eating one bite of the elephant after another, and then strategically thinking about what do I want to improve in my life, and getting maybe some good books first, like learning books when you and like when you think about resources, I mean, but ultimately it's always great to have mentorship, and mentorship can come in different forms. It can come from books that you read. It can come from friends that you have that are successful, that you can look up to, that you can ask certain questions. It can be from like formal mentorship, like where you have like, hey, you are my mentor. Like if you're paying them money, or you're doing something, or I have a friend, he is very inspiring. He would just go and email the top CEOs in his industry, cold email them, and just reach out to them and introducing himself, and then he would build a relationship with those people, and then engage them for a mentorship. But yeah, my advice would be get help where you can, because it's a huge jungle, and you want to have a guide at one point or at multiple points, depending on what stage you are. But also do some research and your due diligence before you engage with them, especially if they are costing you a lot of money. You want to make sure you are investing it wisely, because sometimes the best investment is just into your business, into the next marketing thing, into optimizing some of your processes to keep existing client, or to make your product better. This is usually a good thing, but if you have no plan, then sometimes or often it's also good to have like a consultant.
Consistently find the right guides, eh? So
Yeah, pretty
one of the
much.
last question I want to ask you,
Okay.
Marco, is for everyone who is listening, if you were to challenge them one thing from all the stuff that we were talking about, everyone is listening so they can take a next action step, all the things that we talked about, what would be the challenge?
From the next things, it's like what I enjoyed during this course with you is like sit down, take your earphones, or take your yeah listen to some good music, get into a good state of mind, and write down what your goals are. Go get into this magician kind of position, and then get clear on what you want out of your journey right now, whether it's the next project that you do, or life in general, and write it down, and get clear. The more clearer you are, it helps you tremendously to plan your action steps around that. So that's always a good first way to start off with. It's like taking your time for yourself, cultivate that self-reflection time. And I think that's super strong. Once you do some things and you can self-reflect on those, and you can adjust your course, and then that's really powerful for your journey.
I love it. So Marco, for everyone who's listening right now, if they'd like to reach out to you, find like your website or social media or whatever it is, where do people go to contact you?
Sure thing. So the website is Wunder Ads. That's with a U. So WUNDER ads.agency. And people can email me at marco@wonderads.agency, or get in touch with me with Facebook, or via Facebook, or the website, basically.
Cool. And I will link all of that below. So Marco, thank you so much for coming onto the show, man.
Yeah, an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Corey, for having me. It was a good time. Yeah.